Oh, good evening everybody, Joe Pal Martin the Metalhead here. I hope you're going well. Last night I was sitting down with my handy notepad and I wrote down 10 places in England I want to vlog. Now, I've been living in United Kingdom / England since 2015. I've been coming here for like the last 10 years. I've seen a lot of England and like I literally say off the top of my head, I've been to Plymouth, Cornwall, Southampton, Portsmouth, Brighton, Dover, London, Birmingham, Bristol, Lancing, Littlehampton, Walsall, Wolverhampton, Stafford, Newcastle upon Tyne, Sheffield, Hasland, Cheltenham. Yeah, so just being to like a lot you could like count on like 5 or 10 hands or so. I've written it down from like 1 to 10 about like where I want to vlog. Now at number 1, Macclesfield, which is south of Manchester but a few miles north of Staffordshire. Now the reason I'm going to go to Macclesfield soon is I'm going to do a vlog on Joy Division, like Ian Curtis. I'm going to go to where Ian Curtis lived and died. I'm going to go to his cremation niche in the crematorium where these ashes are buried. And if there's anything I can find in Macclesfield to the Joy Division, I'll vlog that. Number 2, Bacup. Now you think to yourself, well, what's in Bacup? B-A-C-U-P, if I'm saying it wrong. It is the birthplace of South African musician Johnny Clegg, aka the White Zulu. I was introduced to his music at the end of last year thanks to a fellow South African friend of mine, and I told her the other day that I hate having to plan my trips in England in advance because of the high rail fare. So I thought, okay, if I could just get a bus to Manchester, I can easily get 2 buses to get to Bacup for the day, and then I could get back to Manchester for an overnight stay. Unfortunately, because of the whole travel restrictions, I don't really see myself going to South Africa this year to visit Johnny Clegg's grave or to go, buy his music in South Africa. I mean, I do listen to his music online, but, it's just, the world's just gone to like crap these days. Thank you very much, COVID-19. Number 3, this is going to be something a bit local to me, Southall. I did a vlog visiting the grave of Blair Peach a couple of years ago, but Blair Peach was killed on the 23rd/24th of April 1979 in Southall. Southall has a large Indian, South Asian population, mixture of Hindus and Sikhs, and on this day they were protesting against the National Front meeting. I want to vlog around Southall to find locations where Blair Peach was attacked, the home where a resident gave him a bottle of water, and when he was taken into an ambulance, because he died at the hospital in near Ealing, and literally his body wasn't buried for over 2 months. They kept at the coroners for so long, and when he had his funeral, there were like 10,000 people packing in an East London cemetery to farewell him. I kind of feel a bit shocked that as a New Zealander, his ashes were not sent back to New Zealand because he had his parents in New Zealand and his brothers. But they forever rest in London. Okay, number 4, Brixton. All about Caribbean influences and David Bowie. I've been to Brixton twice in my life, and both times I've seen the Ziggy Stardust Memorial, but I've not vlogged where David Bowie was born and any other locations of his young childhood. That would be quite interesting to vlog, even though I'm not a David Bowie fan. And just today I spoke to my dad in Australia. He asked me to go listen to Black Star. He said there's a huge great message for you and I want you to listen to it. I mean, I give a lot of praise and respect for all the 70s glam rock acts for what they did to influence a lot of my favourite bands in the 1980s. So when David Bowie died like 5 years ago, the whole world was just so sad. Number 5, Stonehenge. Insert, Spinal Tap reference. I'm a guy who's not seen the whole film of Spinal Tap. I should buy it on a DVD. I've got a DVD player in my house. But in all this time in England, I've not been bothered to go out to Stonehenge. I could get from London to this part in Hampshire. I can get to Stonehenge, I guess within a day trip and so, but I better plan this thing wisely because I don't want to be paying top dollar for rail fares. Or maybe, hopefully there's coaches there. And also number 6, basically, Oxford. Never been to Oxford. I've spent a lot of time in Cambridge thanks to my cousin. One of my late cousins is actually buried in Oxford. She died 40 years ago, so I've not made the trip to go to her grave after 41 years. But also, not far from Oxford is where Winston Churchill is buried. And like I hate him, I kind of think it'd be quite honourable for me to go visit his grave. Because, if the United Kingdom had lost World War II, we would all be screwed up under fascism. Seriously. And then, this is kind of funny, number 7, Southampton. Alright. A few days before Christmas last year, I wanted to go to Southampton. I wanted to go to Southampton to visit the grave of Benny Hill, and then I wanted to go to Isle of Wight and visit the grave of Razzle from Hanoi Rocks. So, as you all know dearly, Razzle from Hanoi Rocks was killed in the same car as Vince Neil in 1984 in Los Angeles. So Razzle got his ashes buried in Isle of Wight. That would be quite an interesting vlog to do, as not that many fans have gone to Isle of Wight to pay their respects. Okay, number 8 is Byfield, and this is all to do with Sandy Denny. Byfield is I'd probably guess maybe 20-ish miles out of Birmingham, probably at least 2 hours away from London. Sandy Denny lived in Byfield for the past few years of her life. Her daughter was born in, I think, Oxford Hospital, so Georgia, forgive me, I keep calling her Georgina because of my cousin, her name's Georgia, like Lucas. She spent her first year of life living in Byfield, so I'd like to go there, her last ever public appearance before she died. To get to Byfield, I gotta take the train to Bainsbury Station, then I can get a bus. Number 9, Amy Winehouse is at Camden. Okay, I've done a vlog where I visited Amy Winehouse's grave in Edgware, but I kind of feel like, there's more to Amy Winehouse than just her grave in Edgware. There's Golders Green Crematorium where she was cremated, there was the house she died in, there was a place that she performed, there's a pub she used to hang out with, her childhood home, I guess. I'm not really a fan. Look, I'm not a fan of Amy Winehouse, honest to God, okay? I just don't like the type of music, but it's just a sad story of what she went through, only putting 2 albums out in her career. It kind of makes, bands like Metallica write songs like Moth into Flame. And number 10, the Beatles, Liverpool. Okay, I was in Liverpool about 5 years ago. Just went there to see Johnny Blair from Don't Stop Living. Had a beer with him at the Caravan Pub. It's basically where the Beatles were born. There's so many other sites of Liverpool to vlog about the Beatles. There's even Cecil Black. There's even the Beatles manager's grave. He's buried in Liverpool. John Lennon's mother's grave is also in Liverpool. All the childhood homes are in Liverpool. So that would make quite an interesting vlog. I mean, last time I was in Liverpool, I was too busy hanging out with a South African lady. I didn't have much time to vlog. I only had about a couple of hours. I had to go see her, and then after I went back to London, which the funny thing is I've not been outside of London in coming up 6 months. Most of them except for number 10 are like Liverpool's in the north, right? And Byfield is in the Midlands. But also Bacup is also in the north. Bacup's further north of Manchester, so it'd be the north one. And Macclesfield is north west, I guess. Yeah, it's northwest middle of England and all. But I didn't add anything about Wales or Scotland because there's a different ball game and all. I haven't seen much of Wales in my entire life in the United Kingdom. I've seen bits and pieces of Scotland, Edinburgh, Glasgow, and Aberdeen. There's nothing that's really drawing me to visit Scotland now, unless I want to see some relatives. And I still haven't been to Cardiff, so which is quite a bit of a shock factor. I'd like to get a Cardiff someday, but I mean, it all depends on like how many days I get off work. Like if I have 2 days off work, I could easily go to Bacup and go visit where Johnny Clegg was born, or if I get a whole day off, like a day trip, I could easily do the Southampton, Byfield, Amy Winehouse's Camden, Southall, Brixton, Stonehenge and all. Due to my upcoming trip to Macclesfield, I'm actually staying there overnight because it makes it worthwhile, because I've got like, you know, a lot of friends up in Macclesfield that like, I want to see and I haven't seen in ages. And yeah, and also the funny thing is I'm going up to Stoke-on-Trent, and I haven't been up there in like nearly 4 years since I last worked in Staffordshire. So anyway, this is Martin Metalhead. I'm over and out.